This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now Rodgers. Open man left side, it's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. The Packers in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Over.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now it's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This defense for the Packers, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Hall again on 2nd down. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Wilson. And able to connect with Berrios. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
26.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's got room. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And a very similar result again. The Jets defense once more stopping him behind the line.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He's going to look deep for more. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got Dobbs over the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone, where they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. 11 more on that one and another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers again now. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays. Because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Aaron Rodgers. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
We'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 48 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. 3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And that'll be taken just outside the 40. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in the second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got a man complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Rodgers now to throw. Forced out to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll have a Jets first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now Wilson. And he wisely will throw that one away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st down, Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, they wound up losing yardage.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they give the Jones off tackle.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And the Jets will take over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And that's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On the counter, it's Hall.
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. There's one big carry away.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ready.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
They'll give to Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jones.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down.
On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. And he's going to have a Packers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right.
That's taken in by Watson.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Quinnen Williams. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw, Rodgers. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. And in a very offensive-minded game, the Falcons have taken the lead. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Packers pick it up. Does the big boy have the juice? And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big. And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On second down, Dillon
down right around the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Packers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders.
Meanwhile, for the Jets, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver.